Sometimes it really just astonishes me how much people don't know what's going on. Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. If you are new here, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you're returning and have not subscribed yet, please do so today. Make sure that you are following me both on Rumble and on YouTube. So a couple of days ago, somebody posted on Instagram and tagged both myself and Megyn Kelly in this post. And I feel truly honored to be tagged next to Megyn Kelly. I truly appreciate her. And I think this person was trying to make a point, but failed miserably. But I do think this post is relevant because I truly think that there are a lot of people that think this way when it comes to these transgender issues, when it comes to what's happening to women and girls spaces. And there are so many people that truly are just not paying attention. So I'm going to read part of the post and then we're going to touch on a couple of news articles that wholeheartedly debunk what this person is saying. And I think that it's important to do this because I know that these are arguments that so many of us come across as we're talking about this topic. It says, I'm a father of a 21-year-old daughter. There are lots of things I worry about. I worry about her being sexually assaulted because that happens a lot. I worry about her being the victim of a drunk driver because that happens a lot. I worry about her being the victim of gun violence because lots of people die from gun-related injuries. Here's what I do not worry about. I don't worry about her being attacked in a restroom by a trans woman because A, it has never happened, and B, trans women are the most victimized group of people I've ever met and the least likely to commit a crime of indecency in a restroom because they are afraid of getting beat up when all they want to do is pee. Wow. Let's talk about what the word victimized means because I think it truly depends on your definition of that word. A friend of mine sent me a story of a group of high school girls who had to deal with a biological male student walking around naked in their locker room, fully exposed. This is something that is becoming more and more common, especially if girls in places like Wisconsin and California and Colorado say that they don't want to shower next to a male classmate, then they're the ones that are retaliated against. They're the ones that are called names, and they're the ones that are called hateful. This is according to an article in Breitbart. It says a group of 4 Wisconsin high school girls have sent a letter to their school districts claiming that the district's policy allowing a transgender girl to shower with them violated their right to privacy. The four girls sent a letter on Thursday to the Sun Prairie Area School District in the northwest suburb of Madison, Wisconsin, alleging that the district's actions have been completely inadequate. Fox News reported, "We're all calling on you to address this immediately and put policies in place that will protect the safety and privacy of all students and provide public notice of what those policies are," said the Wisconsin Institute of Law and Liberty attorneys. The organization claims that the girls' policy is a serious violation of the girls' privacy rights after an 18-year-old male displaying his male genitalia entered the showers alongside them. The girls also say that the male who supposedly identifies as a trans girl had not been in the physical education class during the same period as they were, though the girls admitted that they knew the student had used the girls' facility before. The girls say that the student fully undressed in front of them and showered nude in the communal showering room after telling them, "I'm trans, by the way." He was initially turned towards the wall, but eventually turned and fully exposed his male genitalia to the 4 girls, the letter states. There are no safe spaces for women anymore. This call for inclusivity translates into if a man wants to call himself a woman, then we can't question him, and he gets to use the girls' bathrooms and locker rooms and parade around naked with no consequences. That is what inclusivity is doing to young high school girls. And this wasn't happening just a few years ago. And it's not because men were concealing their desires to be women, but because laws prohibited them from going into these spaces and doing this. But if you take away the rules that keep boys out of girls' locker rooms and say that they can do it without being punished, what do you think is going to happen? And how many conversations have you heard from grown men who say, "I remember what it was like being a teenage boy"? Like, you know exactly what is going through these boys' brains, and you've essentially set the bar so low that there's boys that are going to be like, If I have to put on a dress or grow my hair out to be able to do the thing that my raging hormones want me to do, I'm going to do it. I mean, what do you think the most likely scenario is here? That more men truly feel like they're women, or that more men are excited at the idea of seeing women naked and calling themselves a woman is a small price to pay for that access? Because again, we don't see this happening the other way around. We don't see women walking into men's locker rooms, stripping down and showering beside them, because we know that that would be incredibly unsafe. So if we're going to recognize the differences between men and women when it comes to one side of the issue, when the roles are reversed, then you can't pretend that it doesn't apply the other way around. At least not if you want to sound sane and reasonable. Here's another one. This is from an article in the New York Post. It says, a group of female students is suing the University of Wyoming after it accepted a transgender woman into their sorority, according to a report. 7 sorority sisters from the Kappa Kappa Gamma house claim they were made uncomfortable by the new admittee on several occasions, a lawsuit obtained by the Associated Press alleges. The women who were not named in the suit have sued the university, as well as new member Artemis Langford, 21, who joined their chapter in September 2022. The lawsuit alleges that the women felt uneasy by Langford, referred to under the male pseudonym Terry Smith in the suit, after she allegedly stared at them without talking for hours. One sorority member walked down the hall to take a shower wearing only a towel. She felt an unsettling presence, turned, and saw Mr. Smith watching her silently, the lawsuit alleges. The plaintiffs allege the National Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority, the sorority's national council president, and the new member all pressured the local chapter to breach sorority rules. The women said they felt intimidated to induct Langford into the house. An adult human male does not become a woman just because he tells others that he has a female gender identity and behaves in what he believes to be a stereotypically female manner, the lawsuit, seen by Cowboy State Daily, claims. So in my opinion, all of the women in these situations are the victims. Just because someone walks into a locker room and says, hey, I'm a woman, does not make that true, because as they strip down, they are still fully a male, and there is no difference between them and all of the guys in the male locker room next to them. The only difference is that they changed their name, took on these pronouns, and now these women are too scared to say anything. So the guy in the original post here that's saying that he worries about his daughter being sexually assaulted, it's not that I'm saying that every single man that wants to identify as a woman and go into a woman's locker room is going to assault somebody, but that is not the only bar to meet as far as being victimized and traumatized and having your rights infringed upon. You are being exposed to things that you did not give your consent to, and you are having your space that you used to be able to count on as being safe and private no longer as such. And it is open to anybody that all they have to do, the only bar that they have to meet is to say, I'm a woman, and they can go in there and they have that opportunity. That opportunity is much more available to them, and those laws are no longer in place to keep that from happening. And at the end of this guy's post, he says, I don't worry about my daughter being cruel and inhumane to trans men, women, or kids, because my wife and I have raised her to have values because she is a kind person. There are things to worry about, and then there are things people want you to worry about to conceal their agenda of discrimination and hate. Wake up. I don't know if you've noticed, my guy, but it is women that are being targeted. It is women that are being called bigoted and hateful, and it's not because they're not being kind. These women can be inclusive and accepting if someone wants to identify in a different way, but not at the cost of their own safety. They are still entitled to those boundaries. And I'm teaching my kids to be kind and inclusive as well, but I'm also teaching them the value of reality and truth, and that ignoring reality is not compassionate and it is not kind to others nor to themselves. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Please like this video, share it with others. Please be sure that you are subscribed. Help me to grow this channel, and I will see you in the next one.